All right, we're gonna do a quick example or two on taking a percent and finding that missing piece. So remember 25%, step number one is we gotta turn that into a decimal, okay, in order for us to do that multiplication. So that, remember we scoop it twice, once, twice, and we get that we need our decimal over here. So 0.25, okay? 0.25 is what we're going to use to do our multiplication. Okay, reminder that word of we can scribble out because that means our multiplication, our times. Is, we could scribble that out, and that also means equals, so we could get rid of that. So we're essentially saying 25% times this equals this, okay? Well, remember, we needed to change that 25% into a decimal, so now it's 0.25, and we're, again, multiplying it. You could use a dot or an X, whatever, by this blank. Well, since we don't know what our blank is, that means we are going to use our variable, okay? Any variable you want, I'm going to use y, okay? And then it equals 80, okay? Now we're just ready to do our inverse operations and go ahead and solve for it. Draw your line, okay? What's the inverse of multiplication? Well, it's division, so I'm going to divide both sides by 0.25. Both sides. This just cancels out, and you're left with just your y, and it equals 80 divided by 0.25. Well, we need to solve for that, and remember you can grab a calculator to do that math if you want. So we need to type in 80 and divide it by 0.25, okay, and it equals 320. So that means y equals 320. Okay, to check our work, now we're just going to take that 320 and place it into our problem, our original equation. So we're going to do 0.25, this 0.25 multiplied times by y, which is 320. Go ahead and plug that in or substitute that in, and it has to equal 80. So let's go ahead and check our work. Okay, so grab my calculator again, take 0.25, multiply it by 320, and it has to equal 80, which is what I got. So that means this is a true solution. Okay, therefore 25% of 25% of 320 is 80. Okay, so we just found that missing piece. Let's go ahead and look at another one. This is if our percentage is missing, so it would say 8 is blank percent, okay, of 16. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier because our is and our of are in different spots than they were up here. Remember, of was up here and is was right here. So if it's swapped, we still know what is means. 8 is. Okay, so that means 8 equals. So we could scribble out this is and write equals. And our of, remember, is saying that we're going to multiply. So we're essentially saying 8 equals this times this. Okay, so 8 equals blank times 16. Again, you can use your dot or whatever. Okay, well, what does our blank represent? Remember, that's our missing piece, and we use variables for that missing piece. Let's go ahead and use y again for that missing piece. You can use whatever letter, but we need to say 8 equals y times 16. Okay, let's go ahead and draw that line and solve. Whatever is next to your variable is what you have to get rid of. So in this case, we're going to change our multiplication to division, that inverse, and then get rid of that 16. This will cancel out. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 8 divided by 16 is the math I need to complete. So y equals whatever I get right here. Let's go ahead and clear it and do that math. Okay, so we're going to take our 8 and divide it by 16, and we get this decimal. The decimal is what we want because remember that last step, okay, is to take our decimal and now convert it into a percent. So take 0.5, scoop it once, twice, and then insert a 0 into that missing spot, okay? So then we don't say 0.50, we would just say 50, and then, okay, We need that percent sign. So 8 equals 50% of 16. Just think about that. 50% of 16 is 8. Okay? Those are 2 examples for you. Remember, you can always reach out if you need extra assistance there. The number one thing, remember your is your equal sign. So go ahead and cross out wherever you see an is and put an equal sign. And then wherever you see an of, cross that out, and that's your multiplication sign. And that will help you with those pieces on where to put things. All right.